Good morning. In today's pocket fours, this hand folds the cutoff, who open raises to 2.8, and the button calls. Cutoff's played 30% of his hands, 44 total hands. So I don't think we're gonna really have a good representation of his range. With the 30%, he's probably playing a fairly wide total, but when we look at the VP/IP across the board, I mean it's in the 20s for the most part, playing more in the button or the small blind. So I'm gonna give him something like this, almost 25%. It's got your pocket pairs, your broadways, suited aces, connectors, suited one gappers. We can update the notes as we see his range, if we get to see his range. Villain 3 is playing tight passive. I could tell right off the bat that his 3-bet range is going to be queens plus ace king. It doesn't look like I mean, we have king queen suited in there as well. He's on the button here, so you know, if we think about, you know, why would he raise king queen? Maybe it's from the blind. So I'm actually going to include ace queen, king queen in his just calling range, pocket pairs, some suited connectors. That's about it. So he's going to be heavier on pocket pairs, definitely. Large pocket pairs. And then he gets to me with pocket fours. What do? I called. I think that's acceptable. When we look at big blind versus cutoff, we look something like this. We have one extra player in the hand. It's 1.8 big blinds to call. We're getting, you know, almost 4-1 on the call. Plus, we expect to make more if we flop trips. So I think we have at least a calling potential. Could we squeeze? Could we raise? I'm going to say probably no. This guy is going to be less likely to fold. I mean, it's definitely, this guy's going to get squeezed because he doesn't know what he's going to do. But I think this villain, since he is so tight, probably has a hand that he's willing to play, and I'll probably play it in position. So I don't think I'm going to be getting the folds that I need to get to make a 3-bet profitable. And my hand's not exactly value worthy. So in comparison, look at this 3-betting range here. I'd even say against that villain, we might have to tighten it up a little bit for a 3-bet because I'm not sure if he's going to be folding. So I'm fine with the call, and we flopped well. So we did flop trip on a king 7-4 board. Now we have our hand that is actually pretty decent. When we think about other hands out there, flush draw could be out there, straight draw could be out there. I think we have straight draw and flush draw in our range. I think those are both hands that could be check raised. So I think our plan is to check to the razor, and then I believe we raise. I believe we raise if anyone bets. So if villain 2 bets and we get a call, we're going to be raising it up. If it checks villain 2 and villain 3 bets, we're going to check raise it. Not really going to care. Yeah, I'm not going to care about blowing out the other player in that scenario. I think we're going, button could be bluffing since it's checked to him, or he could have a hand like a king and he's betting for protection, and he's going to call again, you know, with like a king queen, king jack, maybe queens or jacks. So my check's fine. Villain 2 checks, and that's unfortunate because I was really hoping he would bet. I think I'm going to take out the top pair out of his range. I think I'm going to take out the flush draw as well. I think he would have been betting. Same thing with straight draw. I think he would be betting those. His c-bet stat is 100%. You know, 1 out of 1 when he's in position, 2 out of 2 when he's out of position. I think this is just too good a board for pre-flop raisers range. to check. So I think maybe he has an underpair or he's got something worse. So 6 of diamonds. Oops, hold on. What about this player? This player's a bit more passive. I'm going to eliminate sets. And I think I'm going to eliminate top pair as well. But I'm going to leave in the flush draw, his flush draws and open-enders. Because I think this player might not bet them, might not be aggressive. I do have a note on him that he c-bet, or that someone c-bet 2/3, or he c-bet 2/3, button raised, 3 times that amount, and then he shoved, and he did it so with trips. So maybe he has top pair, but I think I'm leaning against it. I think he would have bet top pair. All right, so 6 of diamonds comes out. We missed our check raise range. So I think we're going to have to start betting and getting some value. I think with the bet, we're betting sets 2 pair, over pair, top pair. I think we're betting our flush draws, our open enders, both 1 card, 2 card. I think we're also betting our gut shots. I would do our gut shots. And then probably these under pairs, 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, queens. Kind of gets it for value. We could also do like any of our pairs, because at this point neither showed promise. And I think at least with these, if we bet and get called, we're gonna probably fire a second bet, as long as a diamond or a spade does not come out. Geez, diamond or spade. I'd also say some straight cards. So 5 I think is bad. 5 is bad. I'd say a 3 is bad. An 8 is bad. I think a 9 is okay. I think 9, 10, jack, queen. 9, 10, jack, queen. 9, 10, jack, queen, and then 2. 9, 10, jack, queen, and 2. So 5 different ranks minus the clubs, or minus the spades and the diamonds. Wow, that's not a huge number of hands for us based on the calls. What am I doing? This is my range. This is my range. I would bet the flush draws. I would bet the straight draws. I think I would bet the gut shots. We're playing. Those are our bluffs. I'm gonna do top pair plus. I think it'd be a hard argument to say these weaker pairs. So we're definitely gonna be unbalanced. Should we do all of our flush draws? I don't see why not. I think some of these include our top pair hands. So, if I eliminate, let's say, all of the kings, all the 7s, these are all like pair plus hands. Let's do that. Two, 9, 8. I think I got them all. Yeah, I guess those are like grouped into the combos. I think that's what we should be betting. Yeah, we're on balance. We're going to be heavy on bluffs, but really, it's going to be hard for villains to call because, are we drawing at the spade? Are we drawing at the diamond? Are we drawing at the straight? Who knows? And I'm going to say I do like this bet. Betting pot. It's going to be hard to call. So villain 2. So I'm going to say this is my betting range here. That's what I'm doing. Doing it with. We've talked about the hands that are going to be good. They could probably fire a second barrel because I think it's going to be less likely this guy has a king. So we're going to try to apply pressure to get him to fold if we didn't continue. For this hand, since we have trips, I don't think I'd play it differently. I'm still playing it because I need to protect all the times that I do this with my draws. So this player folds. This player calls. So I'm not going to put a set on there. He could have 2 pair. Could have one of these pairs that he doesn't believe me just yet. Maybe one of those middle pairs, but I am going to give him the flush draws and the 2-card open-ender. I will give him the 1-card open-ender too. We're not going to give him the gut shot. So I think we're going to look something like this. So you can see that we are ahead right now. He could have a pair if we include that. If we take these out, it's even more likely that he has a draw. But I'm gonna include those in. I assume he called because we have to get to showdown. All right, rivers to jack diamonds. Not thrilled with the diamond draw, but we could have had a diamond draw too. I think we have some value in showdown. If we bet, I think he folds. I think if we bet, he is calling a flush. Set, maybe 2 pair. I don't think middle pair calls. I think this is it. I think he would be calling 20%, and it's a set or a flush, and we're looking at like 16, 14, so 75%. So the times when he does call, 75% of the time, I'm beat. He's folding 80%. So we have to think about our hand and say, okay, what would we be betting? I think we're betting. We're gonna do this. I think we'll probably turn our weak pair into bluffs and our nothing hands into bluffs. Our middle pair starts to have showdown value. And I think even our top pair has showdown value. So our weak pair is going to be a lot. I mean, they're bluffs, but if he calls with ace high, we get some value. We may have way too many. Maybe the weak pairs are going to be like check folds, and the pocket pair less than the second cards are check folds. I think jack is a call, top pair is a call. Maybe 2 pair, maybe sets are calls. So yeah, I think we're betting our flush, and then yeah, I just kind of think we're looking at a range like that, ace high and nothing. Everything that like really missed, we're gonna bet. Our flush plus is gonna bet. That gives us, we're more into a flush, or we have nothing. And then we've got these other hands that are value hands. I do have check calls here, or check folds. I think though, if we check and he bets, I think we're just gonna take the fold. So I think villain 3 is going to call with a tighter range. I think if we check to him, he's probably betting the middle pair and might also bet the second pair. So we're going to hope that we can induce a bet here. I think that's my plan goes out the window when I'm thinking, okay, these hands could actually be pretty good. We can continue. But the diamond and the spades kind of throw a wrench in things. So he just checked. Which means I don't think he's gonna let a flush go through. I don't think a set or 2 pairs is gonna go through. I think he's got one of these middle pairs. So he shows 8s, which is one of these pocket pair less than second cards. So the question is, if I bet, does he call again? I don't think so. I think he folds that. It's gonna be in one of those folds, and I think that's what we're hoping for with these, hoping him to fold those. I think these were check folds, correct? We could have, I think we'd bluff him, and he folds. so we have opportunity to win those. I think the rest of these hands, I think the check calls would be appropriate. We're hoping he bluffs at it. And I think he could. Maybe one of those he could bluff or bet at it, try to get some value because he thinks we missed. Overall, I'm not terribly against this hand. I think I played it okay. Curious about the river decision then. Should I have continued betting, or was my check okay? Could we have gotten more value? I don't think we could have, not out of this hand. I think there are other hands that would have given us some value, but they represents a very small percentage of their range. So I think if we bet and get called, we're not winning more than 50%, which makes that bet not a value bet. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another hand.